16 Dodge Charger 3.6. Installing the right side, left side camshaft. Alright, previous video showed you how to do the right side, which is a little tricky but not too hard. Now the left side, on the other hand, I'm surely glad that I made this little tool, because it lines the cams, the gears, everything just goes right back on. I've shown you before that there's a triangle and a circle on the back of the gears. I marked them, and those, the triangle, the middle, the top part of the triangle in the middle goes on the outer edge there. That's the circle, and there's the triangle. You'll see them, and they go, the circle's dead halfway on that outer notch where I have that white mark. Same with the other side. Okay, decompressing the chain. I mean, that was tough. If you look down in there, you can't even see it. There's a hole in the side of the tensioner. You gotta find it. The tool that made for it actually wouldn't fit. I had to trim it a little bit. It's like it's almost impossible to see. You have to have that little hook tool. You wedge it in there. You lift up on it. You take the wedge tool and you wedge it. It's really hard to see, but you wedge it in between the chain tensioner, the guide, and basically the cylinder head. You gotta wedge it down in there. It's kind of tricky. Another thing, when you're installing this camshaft, this one is the way the engine's designed. When you're taking that camshaft off, number 2 cylinder, it's on the exhaust stroke, like dead on the lobe. I don't know if you can see that or not. You got to be really careful. You take the 2 centers, you put it where it just lays flat, and don't even, just hand tighten up the 2 centers real lightly. Then you can spin the camshaft to where it's supposed to be to get lined up, because otherwise it'll be off like probably 25-30 degrees. You don't have to worry usually about bending a valve, as long as you keep notice where your marks are, because it was already engine set that way anyways. It's just on that exhaust stroke. But then again, it'd be really handy to buy that tool or to make one. I just took 2 roll pins that fit right in the holes that are right there, and flattened out a piece of conduit. I kind of went stupid on the welds. I didn't want it to break. The roll pins weren't welding very nicely. But that tool, especially for reinstallation, and this cam wants to turn all the time. This side is way harder than the other side. But I highly suggest either buying that tool or making that tool. I've done several of these before, and I didn't have that tool that I made. And this side, you almost need 2 people to get this side together, because it just wants to roll on you every time. You can see all the marks line up. That mark. You also count the pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in between the marks. 6 links, 12 pins. It's 84 inch-pounds on the camshafts for the caps, the bearing caps. This side's pretty tricky. If you don't have a lot of engine experience, I would not suggest trying it.